Hey there, hi, I'm Jenn Rice, and I wanted to hop on this morning and share about my blood pressure. I was actually just sharing this on the phone with my doctor's office, but I thought I'm gonna come on here because it was pretty awesome. So about 8 months ago, I had this horrible kind of GI heartburn. It was just chronic and it was really relentless. I was having to sleep upright. I was using all kinds of over-the-counter medicine. I even had prescription medicine, which I ended up becoming allergic to. So obviously I was in trouble. I went and saw a functional medicine doctor and was placed on an elimination diet. And so I've been passionately sharing about how my heartburn was alleviated with my diet. And I surprisingly did not even realize it would help with my blood pressure. So last night, I used a blood pressure cuff and it was 102 over 56. And I was kind of blown away because my blood pressure had always been around, 128, 136 over 80 something. I mean, it was never really high, but it wasn't what it was last night. So I don't know why I hadn't checked it in a while, and I don't know why I thought that being on an anti-inflammatory lifestyle wouldn't affect my blood pressure, but it certainly has. So I wanted to share that, and then I wanted to bring to you guys, really two conditions that are absolutely, brought about by potentially poor gut health. So the first is autoimmune disease. So we know that when you have a poor gut health, you can have rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis. These things are very common with poor gut health. And basically, we suspect that it's a bacterial overgrowth in the GI tract. And so I asked in the video post, what is ENS? And ENS is the enteric nervous system. And what the heck is that and why should we care about it? Well, the ENS, it literally is over 100 million nerve cells, neurons that line our GI tract from our mouth to our bottom. And they send signals all day long, all night long, 24/7. And if there's inflammation all throughout the GI system, it's going to spark different things to happen. And that's how autoimmune happens, is that basically a cell begins to change and then the body starts attacking itself and creates these antibodies. And so I want to really focus on a deeper dive here on the second condition because I'm super passionate about sharing this, and that is mental health. And we know that chronic fatigue, PTSD, anxiety, depression are all very much linked to poor gut health. And by regulating our gut health, we can make a huge, huge dent in these types of conditions. So why is that? Well, when you look at research studies, so let's take studies on mice. I know no one wants to hear about that, but we have to research something. So researchers that have looked at mice behavior, now they obviously didn't kill the mice, but they looked at their behavior when they altered their GI tract, meaning they gave them bacteria that was like considered kind of good gut bacteria, and their energy levels raised. And they also took non-energetic and sort of, casual lull mice and gave them the GI bacteria from mice that were more active and saw that they improved as well. And what's really cool about that, Dr. Stephen Collins, who is actually in McMaster University in Canada, because I want to get this right, he said that in the shy mice that were reserved, when they gave them good bacteria from vibrant mice, they saw immediate changes. And although it seems silly, there's real science to this. So we know that the ENS system, enteric nervous system, is really our second brain. And if we're taking care of our GI tract, we're going to find that a lot of things improve just almost secondarily. So for me, I was trying to improve heartburn, or GERD was the official diagnosis. At the same time, though, I've lowered blood pressure, balanced blood sugars, decreased anxiety and depression. I don't know, I wasn't necessarily going to go into this part, but I don't mind sharing it. So I was on an antidepressant since 2008, and I have not been taking it now for probably 4 or 5 months. And there's nothing wrong with that class of medication. I wanted to see, though, if I would have the improvement from my anti-inflammatory diet by stopping the use of that medication, and I actually have felt pretty amazing. And so there is definitely something to balancing those nerve cells in our GI tract that will have almost a ripple effect through all of our entire health. And when I took my blood pressure last night, I got to thinking of all the patients I see that take 2, 3, 4 different blood pressure medications, and I understand that is what we're accustomed to doing. But I wonder what things could be like if we tried anti-inflammatory lifestyle before, additional medication. And I realize extenuating circumstances happen. People have to use modern medicines. They're there for a reason. So please don't take this that way. But what I'm saying is I doubt we're turning over this stone as often as we could, or maybe even should. So when you think about things like a gut-wrenching experience, I've got butterflies, I'm super excited, and you feel that in your belly, know that there is this gut-brain connection, and it's real, and it has a real effect on our health. If we can balance the GI system, we can balance a lot of things. So there are actually 8 conditions that are stemmed from gut health, but I just went over 2 today. If you guys like this content, please consider subscribing so when I go live that you'll see it. And then also, I'm going to pop in the links section. I actually have a 14-day challenge that I'm launching April 9th, which is a health seekers challenge, and it's all about an introduction to anti-inflammatory lifestyle. It'll be a 14-day course, and I hope you guys will check it out. If you'd like to, you can always click the link. And if you found this video helpful, or maybe you know someone who suffers from an autoimmune condition like rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, perhaps PTSD, anxiety, depression, certainly chronic fatigue falls in there, and most obviously heartburn. If you know someone who suffers from heartburn, perhaps my story will help them in some way. The lifestyle switch is not super easy, but it is extremely effective, and there are a lot of choices, and that's why I want to create a support system around doing that. So I appreciate you guys jumping on. I hope you have an awesome day, and talk to you soon.